Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk. Let's talk about Kobe's final game tomorrow night against the Utah Jazz. I will obviously, shoot another video after the game and kind of recap the game and talk about my thoughts on what went on. But let's talk about what we expect. I don't really know what to expect in his last game against the Utah Jazz. Obviously, a lot of celebrities, a lot of thank you, a lot of tributes and stuff like that. I do expect to, I'm sure he's going to cry at some point. It's going to be really emotional, sort of like when everybody retires and in their post-game press conference or whatever, he's going to be crying and whatnot. So it's going to be a really good night. I'm excited to kind of like have it all in and then kind of give him his final thank you and kind of see how that celebration goes on and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting. Let's see. So I want to share my thoughts. Just one of my thoughts on Kobe Bryant's career. I have a few interesting things that I just remember about Kobe. Obviously, I've been a Laker fan since 30 plus years now. So I followed him from the start when he came out of Laurel Merriam. And I remember my first thing of him, like when he got drafted, I went to a party in Bel Air. There were some club promoters. I was Kobe Bryant was 17. I'm obviously 20 because I'm 3 years older than him now. So me and my friends went to a party in Bel Air at some big mansion, and it was like a club where all the club promoters in LA was throwing this party, and Kobe Bryant happened to be there. Nobody was around him. I think he was there with a friend or whatnot. And I remember he had a broken hand, and he had a cast on his hand. Maybe he had broke his hand in leading up to Summer League, but this was before Summer League or whatnot. And I remember he had like a white beater on, a chain, and he had a little afro, and he looked kind of not really like all swagged out. He just looked kind of like bummy a little bit. And I remember walking by him, and I was like, oh, that's Kobe Bryant. There was some celebrities and stuff in there. There was like a lot of people, but I remember like shaking his hand like as I walked by. That was my that's my first memory of him. Secondly is when he shot some free throws in Summer League and grabbed his shorts. I was like, and his whole mannerisms was similar to Michael Jordan. That's the first time when I was like, wow, Kobe Bryant looks just like Michael Jordan. Like the way he chewed his gum, the way he walked, the way he held his shorts when he got tired. That's like my other memory of like, wow, we really got a Michael Jordan on our hands, right? Or a potential one, that is. My third memory, funny, is when he cut his afro. He cut his mini afro. Why was I upset that he cut his mini afro? I remember because he had his mini afro for like 5 years or so. And even after we won our first championship. But I think after the first championship, he came back and kind of like trimmed his mini afro, because I was like, that kind of was Kobe Bryant. He had the mini afro. It was different from any other player in the league. And we all got accustomed to seeing him with the little mini afro. And when he cut it, I was like, okay, he's going to grow it back. And when he didn't grow it back, I remember being really upset because I liked that look on him. So it's a trip, but that's true. Back then, that's what I was upset. I was like, man, I like the old Kobe with the afro or whatever. But anyway, he still balled out. After that, my other last few memories is the 2002 playoff game against the Spurs. When I think it was game 4, those Spurs had that pink and teal floor. They had David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen. Made that game-winning layup. He was about to he had a really good game. Final seconds winding down, I think it was 85, something like that. He drove, Bruce Bowen tipped it. It almost went back half court. Derek Fisher picked up the ball, and Derek Fisher tried to go and he took a shot, but Kobe Bryant kind of weaved his way in between people, came up, stretched his arm out over everybody, grabbed the rebound, and laid it back up over David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Go and watch that film. Just look at Kobe Bryant game winner Spurs 2002 on YouTube. Check it out. That right there, to this day, that game was like the pinnacle. Yes, we had won the championship the year prior, but it was like, okay, we about to win 7 championships in a row, something like that. That's how I felt based on, that was like Kobe Bryant's like, I'm a superstar, I take over games, because he willed himself to beat the Spurs in that series, and the Spurs were tough. And so that was like my moment that I remember forever to this day. That rebound, I remember getting the newspaper the day after, and it was like a view from the top looking at Kobe Bryant when he grabbed the rebound and went up over David Robinson and laid it in. That was huge, game winner for us. What was that? The next one, obviously, it's a dunk on Dwight Howard. That game against Orlando, I remember Stevie Francis, or franchise, whatever, he was playing on the Orlando team. I remember watching that game, and I remember when it happened, I was watching it live, like on TV, and we actually lost that game and I remember I was in chat rooms and stuff like that, and we were clowning Dwight Howard, but people were like, you still lost. And Orlando Magic was actually better than the Lakers that year. We lost that game, but the dunk on Dwight Howard was like, I've never seen anybody really get dunked on to the point to where he almost jumped over, Dwight Howard, and it was crazy. So, and obviously, much love for all the championships, but those are the things that just stick out to me, memories that stick out to me. Like, obviously, some other ones, the 81, scoring 63 against the Mavericks in 3 quarters, and his 50-point streak. I think he had like 4 games or so and 50 points or something like that, and that streak of like 40 points, right? Anyway, those are my thoughts of Kobe Bryant. I'll be interested to see what goes on tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts, and share your what do you remember most about Kobe Bryant. Share it in the comments below. Thanks for commenting, liking, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Check out the video I'll post after the game. I'll recap the game tomorrow night, and follow me on Twitter, Mike Sports LA. We'll talk soon, guys. Peace.